Good morning, everyone. A couple minutes late, had a little bit of a technical snafu getting it rolling this morning, but here we are. It is 12 minutes to 6 a.m. on Wednesday, March 6th, and I am still Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators, and I am still going to remind you, especially to the new subscribers, who, by the way, welcome to the channel. Please do subscribe to this channel if you are not already. Please do like these videos. Give us that thumbs up. That really helps us out. And then also, of course, if you have any feedback at all on what we're doing, if there's anything we can do that will help you, help your trading, etc., please do let us know. We look at all feedback, all comments, and we definitely answer what we can and take into consideration everything. So we love the feedback. Please keep it coming. All right, speaking of feedback, let me real quick just get the chat up just in case there's anybody actually on the chat live this morning. I know it's early. Let's take a look at the S&P 500, which had a bit of activity the other day. You can see it better if I zoom in a little bit. We had this nice big shocking move here, big volatile day, big down day, although by the end of the day it had recovered half. So is this the start of the move down, the correction that I have been waiting for a while, since, somewhere back here, I think. I've been waiting for some kind of correction to happen, and so far it has not happened yet. We are still in this uptrend, but you can see very clearly that the trend has been up, and now it's sideways, which generally is what happens right before it comes down. So we could go sideways for a little while longer. We could spend, the rest of this week, maybe even part of next week, kind of going sideways before rolling over. Or perhaps it could just go sideways for a while. This is all the consolidation it needs, and it could break higher. Now, that is possible. It is unusual. Markets generally correct, and we have not seen any kind of meaningful, significant correction since back here. So it's due. It's due for a correction, and this is the level where we've been expecting it to happen. So my, bet, guess, hunch, whatever you want to call it, is that we are setting up for a retracement. And I've got my retracement drawn here. So I'm looking for something somewhere in this range. I would love to see price pull back down somewhere near 2,600. That would be a fantastic textbook retracement. It would form a higher low, and then price would have a new, base or platform from which it could launch a new assault on this level, and I think have a good chance of actually breaking this triple top that we've had here, which is acting as significant resistance right now. So at the moment, that is what I am looking for to have happen. However, at this instant, of course, the daily trend is definitely still up. But on the 60, you can see the trend change. I mean, we went from clear higher highs to higher lows to technically either breaking or exactly touching this higher low. I can't quite tell. But it is incredibly close right there. Technically, the low of this candle is lower than the low of this candle. So the market has broken this higher low. But now at the moment, after retracing half of that, it's basically just sideways, more or less. So we are consolidating a little. Yesterday was certainly a sideways day. Not a whole lot happened. I mean, in fact, you can really see that if I zoom in on the daily. I mean, like, seriously, a whole lot of nothing happened. I mean, that is a textbook doji right there. Price just didn't go anywhere. A little bit of a wiggle during the day, but not much. So we'll have to see what happens today. And it is going to be very meaningful. Right now, you can already see that, just overnight, we haven't had a whole lot going on. Right now, we're kind of just in the middle, kind of right back where we started the morning. So it's a touchy time. I personally couldn't really rationalize doing any kind of long-term longs at this level. But I've also, like I said, felt that way for a while now. I've been waiting for this pullback, and it just hasn't happened yet. So the trend has been up since then, and that has been the side of the market you've had to be on. And it's not necessarily the most comfortable feeling in the world when you're going with a trend that is long, extended, and maybe due or overdue for a pullback, but it's kind of what you have to do. So There you have it. This is the 21 EMA, and right now we are pulled away from it, and it is still trending upwards. So the direction is to the long side, but the market is looking tired. So just watch out. Be very cautious of any kind of move to the downside. And right now at this moment, especially watch out for a break of that level here. Basically, the low of that candle is going to signify without question that we are moving lower to test the next low and then so forth, just on down the line. And that would eventually get us to somewhere in this area here. Okay, let's take a look now at crude oil. And crude is also just kind of going sideways for a little while now. We've established this new kind of range congestion area here. We did take out this level here. We once there with a little exploratory poke at getting higher, and then here we did it for real. Came back down, tested, held a support, and went back up again. So right now, anyway, crude is holding up. It's holding up nicely, just going sideways, consolidating. But take a look at this. It has broken the trend line. Right now, it is below the trend line. We'll have to see what happens today. Maybe it jumps up above the trend line and holds. But that is kind of our very first indication that maybe this trend is a little bit tired. Maybe this move wants to pull back and consolidate, or pull back and establish a higher low, rather. So we are riding this zone here, this congestion area. It's not really a technical perfect buy zone, but it is certainly an area where price stopped before. So it's a support area. And the trend is still up on a daily basis. So ideally, anyway, still trading to the upside, trading with the longs. But it looks like it's getting a little bit tired. But it could just go sideways for a while. Very similar to the ES. It could just go sideways for a while and then break higher. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But at the moment, anyway, pretty much just stuck in this range. And you can see here on the 60. Here's the current little range that it's bouncing around in. Here's the last time it was bouncing around in a range. It was about this. And right now, anyway, it is still doing that, but the trend is up. There's no question. If I, let's see here, can I scroll a little further left? Yeah, okay. So that is the bottom there. If I draw a trend line here, our friend, the trend line, there we go. You can see that we've just now broken below it, but pushed back up above it. So it's at a critical juncture right now, just playing with that level to say, hey, can we hold above it, or are we going to break down below it? Right now, it's fighting pretty dramatically back and forth between the two, down, up, up, down, up. There's a battle going on to hold this line. So we'll have to see what happens. The 60-minute trend is clearly pointing to the downside. It is establishing lower low, lower high, lower low. It looks like the trend is turning around and heading to the downside. But this level right now is still holding. This trend line right now is being tested kind of as resistance, you could say, trying to hold. This is a very telling time. We're going to have to keep an eye on crude and see what it's going to do, which way is it going to break, and if it breaks, is it going to retrace? How far is it going to retrace, rather, to set that higher low? But that's what I would be watching for, is that higher low to establish. Now let's take a look at gold, which has come off of its recent high. It had this great, stair-step march to the upside, but that is not holding. And we have taken out this low, and right now we are right at that low. At the moment, it's holding. You can see it even better right there on the 60-minute chart. This area here is holding, and we're right in it right now. But how long can it hold? Will it break down? Will the market retrace? We just don't know yet. Now, that being said, what would happen if we took a look at a retracement of this? Well, we would get the 38.2 to the 61.8. We're right now in the middle of that area, very near the 50. So this could be the retracement to establish a higher low from which to launch the next move upwards. We won't know until it starts to develop, but right now we are in a nice, healthy retracement. So this is a good thing. Big picture, this is a good thing for the market to be doing. So it is trying to march higher, and this is what it has to do: is come on back down. Excuse me, come on back down, establish a higher low, and then it can march higher. Now on the 60, of course, if you're day trading gold, there are always moves to be had. I mean, there have been some great shorts, for example, the last few sessions. And right now, anyway, it's pretty range bound, just kind of bouncing around in this area here. The trend has clearly gone sideways. There's no question that right now the trend is sideways to down. I mean, it's not perfectly sideways, but it's pretty darn close. So we are just stuck in this range, and we're looking for something to break that range, either higher or lower. And right now, it really could go either direction because we have pulled back into this area. And so anywhere in here, it could stop. The retracement could end, and we could march higher. So watch for the price to reverse somewhere in here. Watch for price to reverse. And then on a smaller time scale, establish, on the 60, for example, it'll start establishing higher highs and higher lows. And then that's when you know, okay, this retracement was done, and it is time to march upwards again. All right, taking a peek at natural gas. Natural gas is still continuing its nice little upwards move. This is a really good little rally happening here, and we are moving in on this area here. If we can get up into that area, then that will be a very positive sign for natural gas. Right now, you can see the trend is curving around. It's starting to head up. So that is a bullish sign for natural gas. It's looking like this move down was done, and that this was the bottom. And right now you have to be trading with the long side. You can see a very nice little trend forming here, and any pullback to that trend line is a long opportunity. And in fact, I mean, right now it's pretty much hugging the trend line, so it doesn't even really need to pull back to it. It's on it. It is right on the trend line. So fairly soon, I would expect more traders to recognize what's going on here and start to push the price. And then I would expect to see it get further and further and further and further away from this trend line as price moves up. So this is a good entry opportunity to the long side because you got low risk. You can have your stop just outside of that line, just below that trend line, and you've got a really good entry. So this is looking nice. I like what I'm seeing in natural gas. So definitely a play to the long side is the order of the day here. We do have a couple of zones down here which price never even actually got down into. So got to be mindful that, of course, there's always the possibility that it runs out of steam and continues this down move of lower lows and lower highs. So that is always possible. That could happen. So this is why you need to have a sensible stop. But right now, this is a fairly low risk area to place your stop. All right, let's finish up with crypto, Bitcoin, and really nothing going on. It's funny. A post online was brought to my attention yesterday. Somebody was asking, oh, what happened in the crypto market? It's up 10% in a day, and oh, this is a big deal, and it's the biggest move it's had, and since this whole bear market started, and so forth. And unfortunately, they did say crypto. They didn't say Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything specific. So I don't know exactly what they were talking about. But I looked at Bitcoin, and I don't see anything exciting. I mean, yeah, sure, okay, there's this little tiny day there, whatever, which I presume is what they were talking about because that's yesterday. But I mean, that's less than this day here, less than this day here, less than this day here, less than this day, less than. I mean, that kind of move happens all the time. It's just not anything significant. So I'm not sure what they were so excited about. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, we're still just stuck in this zone, just bouncing around. Now it is getting tighter and tighter. There's definitely a wedge shaping up here. Technically, price has bounced outside of the wedge at this point, so there is a bullish bias, I would say. It's looking like the bulls are accumulating and acquiring and wanting to push price higher. But until we see something get up over this 44.15 level, I can't get all that excited about this. This is just range bound. It's not a bull market. The trend certainly has gone pretty sideways. You can see on the 21 EMA, it's just kind of bouncing around in a fairly tight range, but the trend is not clearly established either direction right now. It's just sideways. And as always with Bitcoin, of course, there are intraday opportunities to be had, but boy, they come on so fast. You know, these moves will happen in a 1 hour candle or even less. I mean, let's see, let me take a look at a 15-minute chart and see. Yeah, see, look at a 15-minute chart. You had less than an hour. You had, about 45 minutes. Well, you had about an hour really to catch the entire thing. You had about an hour. But that's it. If you were not at your computer during that hour, you missed the whole move. This one happened in less than 15 minutes. This move down was less than 15 minutes. So you see what I mean? You have to really be on top of it. You either have to be watching it constantly, nonstop, or you need to have some kind of automation, a bot or a script or automated trading of some sort that is handling those kinds of opportunities for you and just jumping on them, in the instant and then jumping back out again with some profit. So Bitcoin, highly volatile as ever, and you got to be really cautious because just look how spiky it is. Look at all those tails. It's so spiky. It does not move in the way that a stock or a future moves. They're much smoother, and Bitcoin is just really volatile. So trade really cautiously. If you have a longer term outlook, of course it's smoother, but you still have these big huge swings that come out of nowhere all of a sudden, up and down in the same day. So just watch out for that. But again, until we get over this level, I just can't get that excited at the bull side. And if we take out this level, then clearly there is further downside to be had. That being said, however, I would expect if we break to the downside that there isn't a whole lot of push down left. It seems to me that this move to the downside is pretty done. And right now we're establishing basically a base. Oh, shut that up. Okay. All right. So that is the crypto market right now. S&P again hasn't done anything in the last 10 minutes while I've been sitting here. So let's get ready for the trading day ahead and see what it wants to give us. My leaning is that we're setting up for a correction to the downside, but that's just my bias. And don't listen to me. As Tom likes to say, trade what you see, not what you think. Trade what you see, not what people tell you, not what other people say. Trade what you see. So right now what I see is an uptrend, and you got to trade with that. So that is it for me for now. I'm Jonathan Van Clute again for Stock Navigators. Again, reminding you, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, and please do give us a thumbs up there at the bottom of the video. That really helps us out. And give us your feedback and comments. We love them. Right now, I'm going to go get ready for the premium chat room, which will be kicking off here in about 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to look forward to the trading day ahead. I will do this all over again on Friday morning. So until then, please trade responsibly, trade well. And if you're going to be attending our 4-day boot camp this coming weekend, very excited about that. Really looking forward to seeing everybody there. It is going to be a ton of fun, and you're going to come away with your minds blown with all the incredible stuff you're going to pick up. So very exciting times ahead. This is going to be a fun weekend. So see everybody there. All right, that's it till Friday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.